We're all quite accustomed to rain. We're either ready for it with an umbrella or raincoat, or we simply get wet. It rarely truly bothers us. But what happens when it rains for days, flooding the streets so we can't go outside? Or when you realize you can't afford the interest rate on that home you want to buy? How do you respond when your investments plummet or you're laid off without severance? These are real modern problems that plague us constantly, filling our nights with nightmares and our days with despair. However, it doesn't have to be this way. We can learn to stay grounded despite all the issues affecting our society today. This is how to become stoic in the modern world. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy, aims to take us from being vulnerable to the chaotic nature of the universe to being calm and indifferent to it. It's a way to fortify your mind for lasting peace. But like any practice that involves changing your attitude, it requires work and often sacrifice. The Stoic's task is to recognize what's within our control and what isn't. The only thing we can control is our reaction to events, not the events themselves. Of course, we can influence outcomes, but nothing is completely in our control. Misfortunes are unpredictable and often unavoidable. The Stoic philosopher Zeno of Citium used an analogy of a dog tied to a cart to clarify the Stoic position. If the dog follows the cart willingly, its spontaneous act coincides with necessity. If not, it's compelled to follow. So it is with us. Even if we resist, we are compelled to follow what is destined. The cart symbolizes everything beyond our control, all the various happenings of the universe. A leash attaches us to this universe, and our choices are to run with it or resist and be dragged. To become stoic is to run with the cart. Imagine you're at work, and your supervisor informs you that the espresso machine you rely on is being removed. Your free daily coffee is suddenly gone. For most of us, this would be pretty upsetting. Your reaction is what's up to you. You can't control whether the machine is there or not. You can either accept the change, acknowledging it's beyond your control, or wallow in the misery of no more free coffee. You can be dragged. The ultimate goal is to improve your inner self. Relying on external things for happiness leaves you at the mercy of a turbulent universe, one that's outside your control. Stoic philosophers believe in a semi-deterministic worldview, or compatibilism. Everything that happens has a cause, but we can only control our actions, not the cause itself. For example, we can choose not to give in to an impulse to eat cake, but the impulse's existence is beyond our control. This doesn't mean we shouldn't try to improve our external circumstances, but we can't rely on desirable outcomes. If we want to fix our car, we still have to book an appointment. It's not going to fix itself. We can measure our effort because that's what's in our control. If the mechanic turns out to be a fraud who steals your car, you shouldn't blame yourself. That was beyond your control. Discussing Stoicism is one thing, but how do we tangibly implement it in our modern lives? At its inception, Stoicism was for everyone, from slaves to emperors. So why not today? Most of us get caught up in material things, expecting them to bring us joy. We tell ourselves that the next purchase will finally make us happy: a new car, the latest smartphone, the expensive watch. When we can't get these things because we can't afford them, we feel like the universe is against us and there's nothing we can do about it. But material things only bring temporary happiness. Your car will break down and your phone will eventually freeze up. Even when our possessions work perfectly, we adapt and start wanting something newer. It's a never-ending cycle. To escape this trap, we need to adopt a different attitude toward our purchases and the dopamine hit they provide. Practice what the Stoics call voluntary discomfort. Subject yourself to discomfort in something you typically enjoy. Many people do this by taking cold showers instead of warm ones, or hold on to your new phone until it's no longer usable. Suffer through the cracks and lags and let each new phone launch pass you by. Start small if that's too much. Next time you go to the bathroom, leave your phone on your nightstand. Sit with your thoughts instead of scrolling. Driving on a hot day? Roll up the windows and drive with the AC off. Or better yet, walk. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, was a practitioner of Stoic philosophy. He ruled the empire from 161 CE until his death in 180 CE, and was considered a great philosopher king, although that may be an exaggeration. As a leader, he wrote his Stoic-influenced meditations, likely to assure himself while handling significant responsibilities. These writings, not intended for publication, are fortunately available to us today. The collection is called Meditations, or the Inner Citadel. In it, you see how Marcus Aurelius applied Stoicism to his daily life as emperor. Here are some quotes to help you adopt a Stoic mindset. Strip things of their pompous descriptions and view their true nature. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the basic nature of things, devoid of the pleasures he derived from them. A fish is just flesh necessary to sustain you. Ignore the tastes and satisfaction of eating. When you bring your favorite lunch to work, break it into its basic components. The salad is just leaves and the fruit of a plant. Croutons are just bread pieces dried in an oven. By doing this, when you're stuck with a lunch you don't love or the waiter gets your order wrong, you won't be as bothered. Lunch is just raw materials to give you energy. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about interpreting and interacting with others. He adopted the Stoic metaphysics, believing the universe is made from an intelligent design, and humans are part of that intelligence. It doesn't make sense to hate others because it's the same intelligence in you. It's similar to the Hindu concept of Brahman. I can't be angry at my kin. We were naturally formed for mutual assistance.